A couple of days ago, we talked about Call of Duty World War II in the sense of an update on the horizon, that being the next title update for the game, in which we're probably going to have a lot of content thrown in, obviously because DLC 2 will be in the mix there, but also because it's time that we'd see a lot of other cool things like a new event, maybe like the features of Paint Shop finally being added in, and all that kind of cool stuff. So we talked about that in a more general and vague sense, but today, as with our weekly Friday updates that we get from Sledgehammer, we had a little bit of an update on the current happenings of World War II and some things that are in the pipeline and planned out a little bit further. So as always, we're gonna be detailing this here for you guys and breaking down everything you need to know from their update that they gave the community. So with this one, right off the bat, first and foremost, there's not all that much compared to what we've had previously. There's still enough to update you guys on, but in the sense of major, massive changes, there's not really all that much. Unfortunately, we still don't have any information on paint jobs and other things like that, like the flak gun events, those things that I talk about in the what to look out for kind of segment that we do on the channel. That I talked about on Monday, maybe seeing some information given to us this weekend for this update, but unfortunately, that kind of stuff still has not really been present, and we're still left wondering. So while we talked about a couple of days ago, once again, potentially that coming out for the April 10th title update, we're running out of time to see when that actually could happen. Next Friday is the final community update before that patch would go live, so maybe we see something there, but unfortunately, again, it's not listed within this little update that Sledgehammer gave us. But as for what is in the update, well, first and foremost, they talk a little bit about the Operation Shamrock and Awe. This little event that we've had within World War II, though not a major grand scale one, a little more minor, this is the final weekend now of the event. So as we talked about on Monday, once again, with what to look out for, make sure you guys are grinding out some contracts, make sure you guys are grinding out supply drops if you want a variant or something like that, and also try and get as much of that collection loot as possible if you are looking to get any of it. I know myself, I really only care about getting one variant of the weapon so I have it available, so I ended up getting the MG81 out of a supply drop, but then also I ended up buying the collection for the M38. So I got both of what I'm looking for. If you guys have not done so already though, try and get something if you're looking for that. And one thing that is kind of cool though, also to jump ahead a little bit with this, is that the MG81 is actually the brand new weapon contract within the Quartermaster. That's live now until Tuesday, April 3rd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I believe 6 p.m. GMT. Again, the daylight savings time kind of throws me off with that switch up, but regardless, that's available from Butcher right now for 5,000 armory credits, and it's gonna last you 1 hour and 20 minutes for completion time, but all you have to do is get 10 headshots with LMGs. So again, as with the ones we've seen previously, they are a little bit pricey, but they're pretty much a guarantee that you'll end up getting them because they are very simple contracts. So kind of a trade-off there in between, in which you want to spend the armory credits or you don't. But if you don't have one of the weapons, now's a great time to grind out for this weekend with various different ways to do that. You can either do the contract, you can end up trying to grind out supply drops, or if you're really into it, again, I don't ever really condone this, but this is probably one of the biggest bundles we've seen in Call of Duty World War II thus far. But there is a 50 supply drop bundle for 5,000 COD points, 50 rare supply drops, I should say. So that does help increase your loot odds a little bit, but again, that's something that I wouldn't necessarily buy into, but if you want to, you can. It's there for the next couple of days. So if you're trying to last second get a weapon that you don't have from the collections or any of the materials in the collections, that's something that of course you can try out if you really want to. But again, I don't really condone it. It is there though. But as with other things tying in for the last weekend of Shamrock and Awe, we end up getting double XP within the featured playlist of Leprechaun Hunt Mosh Pit. And honestly, if you guys have not played this, I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. And of course, if you want to play around with some high level streaks, all you have to do is find the leprechaun and be the one that kills him, and your streaks fill up instantly. So it's a lot of fun. It's one that I think you guys definitely can enjoy, but double XP is definitely a for sure nice thing here for this. And again, with only 3 days left now or whatever it is at this point in time of watching this for you guys of the event, definitely take advantage of it because I have had a ton of fun with this. A great way to end up playing around with new streaks, getting some high kill gameplays, whatever it may be. And a lot of people, honestly, very easy to pick off because they're so focused on the leprechaun. But another thing regarding different playlists is that earlier in the week, we ended up getting the Resistance Mosh Pit added back into World War II. That was taken out of the featured playlist, but instead now it's its own tab. So right between party games and then hardcore modes is where you'll find the Resistance Mosh Pit. This isn't something new per se as of today, but it is something that they finally addressed publicly as adjusting a little bit within how the actual classification of some playlists are working out. So that's there if you guys want to check that out as well. But a lot of big stuff coming out of this now is also dealing with DLC 2, because earlier in the week on Tuesday, we ended up getting the official confirmation of DLC 2 called The War Machine, in which we end up getting the maps Dunkirk, Egypt, V2, Operation Husky, and then the Zombies today's map, the Shadowed Throne. So we got a little bit of confirmation of that once again earlier in the week. We still don't have a trailer. I'm gonna expect that to be coming out probably next Tuesday, but that's just an educated guess that I have here for this one. Kind of a little hype up period starting for that week beforehand, leading up to DLC as a last push for that, I guess. I don't know, I could be totally wrong, but regardless, earlier today, we ended up getting a little bit more of promotional artwork for this DLC 2, the War Machine map pack. And they didn't show us everything here in terms of new screenshots for the new maps, all of them. They showed us the Shadowed Throne, but also Egypt. So maybe we end up seeing, say, V2 in Dunkirk or V2 in Operation Husky, some promo art for that in the coming days here. Maybe that's something of a gradual build up to when we see a trailer for it. I don't know exactly, but we did get new promotional artwork, which shows off a little bit of each map. Definitely exciting to see that. But as for other mention of DLC 2 content, well, this is something in which they're really starting to harp on the idea of what Operation Husky offers the new war mode experience, in which they end up saying, hold on to your aviators because we're bringing an all new type of multiplayer gameplay experience to war mode for DLC 2. Take to the skies to eliminate your enemy in this franchise first. So again, kind of ramping up the hype behind the fact we're actually going to be engaging in a dogfight in multiplayer. We've never seen that at all within Call of Duty, so I'm excited to see how this plays out. Again, we mentioned it in a video a couple of days ago once again. I don't know how on rails it's going to be or how free roaming it will be, but I'm excited to see where this will take us, and maybe this is the start of something we see progressing throughout the next couple of years of Call of Duty, to which we see not only vehicles, but aerial combat again. The next two things I want to mention actually deal with a little bit of a technical standpoint, because one being something that's removed from the game currently, but then also one that was added in. So the first thing, let's start out with what was removed. So if you guys remember, a couple of days ago, we ended up getting an adjustment to the Bronze Star, or play of the game feature within Call of Duty World War II. So with that said, they ended up saying in this update that we had some issues rolling out the Bronze Star changes this week, especially with featuring score streaks. We have pulled back the changes and are working to resolve them. Stay tuned. So right now, the Bronze Star is not exactly where it was up to par with that brand new update that it got. I actually quite liked that new adjustment to it. Kind of varied a little bit of what you'd end up seeing in the play of the game. And while of course it kind of sucked in some senses because some people could completely go off with, say, paratroopers and get one extra kill from their gun, that could ruin maybe a nice little three-piece that you had that you wanted to see featured, but it's a nice little variation, I think, and a change-up of how the system works. But right now, there is a fix being worked on to actually make this a perfected adjustment. As for the thing that was added in though, well, that is actually something of an AFK timer, because we end up getting an AFK timer in war mode now. We saw Gun Game get one recently, but war mode now has one in which after 5 minutes of inactivity, that AFK player then gets kicked out of that war game that they were in. So therefore, hopefully helping the team out that just had that dead weight anchor that wasn't playing. And the final thing on the side of multiplayer is just the announcement of CWL Birmingham going on right now, in which, of course, if you guys are into that, it's definitely worth watching. But one thing that they did mention also was that we should keep an eye out for an order going live tomorrow. So Saturday is when we'll probably see the return of, once again, that 500 social score plus a supply drop order for watching content in the theater. Now, if you guys don't really care about COD World War II esports, well, that's something in which all you have to do is go into the theater, back out immediately, and it counts it as watching content in the theater. So it literally is just a thing that takes probably about 30 seconds to complete at most. So get free supply drop and then free social score as well. But I'm also curious to see if they increase the level of social score that you end up getting, because this is the first time they'll see that order coming in Major Howards since we had the social score increase for the regular orders. So I can't imagine that the social score for that reward will increase on the same incremental level that we saw of regular social orders, because that was a 10 times increase. So I can't imagine watching content in the theater is going to give you 5,000 social score, but I'd love to see that. Probably still going to be that 500, maybe 1,000 though. But regardless, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow so you have the option to take advantage of that and get some free social score. But other than that, all we had was a little touch on the zombies side of the game with the Shadowed Thrones. Once again, more promotional artwork being thrown out for that. But then also they had the unlocking issues addressed for Operation Shamrock and Hawk camos, to which they said they fixed that out a few days ago. So just formally addressing an issue that they updated in this capacity. So that said, that concludes this week's formal update from Sledgehammer, giving us that little update on a few things within the game. Again, not all that much, so unfortunately we still are missing out on some big stuff we're waiting for. Me specifically, paint jobs, I really want to know what's up with that. I know, of course, it might not be ready, but I'm just super anxious to see how that will come about, when it will come about, and of course, what else we may end up be seeing as well. So some minor stuff here at this one, but want to let you guys know the scoop and the down low for what's happening in Call of Duty World War II with this update. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully it was insightful. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below if you guys enjoyed anything in particular. If you're looking forward to anything being revealed in the near future, feel free to let me know down there in the comment section down below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II updates, news, best class setups, tips, tricks, news, information, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. So if any of it interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And also, if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, try to get a little more active over there as well. So that link is also in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, hope you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine's been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.